There is a version of you that wakes up tomorrow and does everything right. Exercises, eats well, puts the phone down at 9 p.m. That version of you has existed in your mind for years. He has never once shown up. And here's the disturbing part. It's not because you're lazy, it's not because you lack discipline. It's because somewhere inside your skull, a 300,000-year-old machine is making decisions for you. And it doesn't care about your goals. It cares about something else entirely. Something older, something colder. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to look at your own mind like a stranger. Let's start with an experiment most people have never heard of. In the 1950s, scientists implanted electrodes into the brains of rats, directly into a region we now call the reward pathway. The rats could press a lever to stimulate it. They pressed it, then they pressed it again. Then they didn't stop. Some rats pressed that lever 7,000 times an hour. They ignored food, they ignored water, they ignored their own exhaustion. Several rats pressed the lever until they collapsed, and the moment they woke up, they crawled back to press it again. They weren't chasing pleasure anymore. They were chasing want. And here's the twist almost nobody talks about. Wanting and liking are not the same system in your brain. They live in different circuits. You can want something you don't even like anymore. You can crave a habit that stopped making you happy years ago, and your brain will still drag you toward it night after night like a moth that's forgotten what the flame even looks like. Read that again. You can hate a habit and still be enslaved to it. Because the part of your brain doing the choosing was never asking, will this make me happy? It was asking something far more primitive. Will this help me survive? Here's a thought experiment. Imagine your brain isn't one thing. Imagine it's 3 passengers riding in the same body from 3 different eras of time. One of them is ancient, a reptilian survivalist obsessed with immediate threats and rewards. One is a mammal, wired for bonding, status, and emotional memory. And one is impossibly young, barely 200,000 years old, capable of logic, foresight, morality, dreams of the future. Now here's the unsettling part. Only one of these passengers has a driver's license. The ancient one, the reward-seeking, danger-avoiding, sugar-craving, dopamine-chasing one, still has his hands on the wheel most of the time. And the you that sets goals, makes promises, and swears this time will be different is often just a passenger in the back seat, watching the road, powerless to grab the wheel until the ancient one gets tired. This is why willpower fails at night. This is why the diet breaks after 9 p.m. This is why the doom scrolling happens in bed, in the dark, when your prefrontal cortex, your newest, most fragile passenger, is exhausted and the ancient one takes over. But this raises a stranger question. If the ancient brain is running the show, why does it choose bad habits at all? Wouldn't evolution have built something smarter? Here's where it gets disturbing. It did build something smarter, for the world it was designed for. 50,000 years ago, sugar was rare. Fat was rare. A piece of ripe fruit might be the difference between surviving winter and not, so your brain built a reward system that screamed more every time you found something calorie-dense. That system still exists, untouched, unchanged. But now you're not foraging in a forest. You're standing in a hallway of a grocery store engineered by food scientists who have spent billions of dollars reverse engineering that exact ancient scream. Your craving isn't broken, it's obsolete. And this is the strange part almost nobody says out loud. The modern world isn't full of temptation because humans got weaker. It's full of temptation because we built an environment perfectly shaped to exploit a survival system that no longer matches the world it lives in. Your phone doesn't addict you by accident. Every notification, every red badge, every autoplay countdown was designed by people who understood dopamine variability better than most neuroscientists. It's the same mechanism as a slot machine. the same one that made those rats collapse at the lever. You're not the rat. You're the rat and the scientist trapped in the same skull, and only one of you knows the experiment is happening. But that still isn't the strangest part. Here's a question most people never think to ask. Why does a habit feel automatic at all? Why does your hand reach for your phone before you've even decided to check it? The answer will unsettle you. Your brain isn't reacting to the world, it's predicting it, running tiny simulations milliseconds ahead of real time, guessing what's about to happen so it can act before you're even conscious of deciding. Habits are just predictions your brain trusts so completely it stops asking permission, which means the you that decides things, the conscious, reflective, narrating voice in your head, is often not making the decision at all. It's writing the explanation after the decision has already been made. Let that sit for a second. The story you tell yourself about choosing to check your phone or grab the snack or skip the workout, that story might be fiction, a narrative stitched together after the fact by a mind that desperately wants to believe it's in control. What if free will in the moment of habit is mostly an illusion your brain performs for you? Not a lie, just a story told slightly too late to matter. So here's where this stops being about behavior and starts being about identity. Every habit, good or bad, is a vote for a version of a person, not a moral vote, a statistical one. Your brain doesn't remember your intentions, it remembers your patterns, and it uses those patterns to predict who you're going to be tomorrow. Which means the terrifying part isn't that bad habits are hard to break, it's that every time you repeat one, you're not just losing a battle, you're teaching an ancient, silent statistical machine inside your skull exactly who you are, and it believes you. This is why change feels like grief. You're not just quitting a behavior, you're asking a 300,000-year-old prediction engine to abandon a model of you it has spent years building, refining, trusting. It won't let go easily. It was never trying to hurt you. It was trying to keep the story consistent. So maybe the real question was never, why does my brain love bad habits? Maybe the question is this: if most of your daily choices are made by a prediction engine older than language itself, one that mistakes a phone for a predator, a notification for food, a scroll for a rescue, then how much of what you call yourself is actually just a story a machine tells after the fact to explain what it already decided? And if that's true, who exactly are you trying to change?